Yeah, man, my name is Jimmy. I come from Jamaica, bro. We're gonna sing Mato Vu. Oh, 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 oh. Mato Vu, oh Halecha, Yaakov. משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב. משכנותיך ישראל. This comes from the portion of Balak. Bilam thinks he's gonna curse Israel, but really in the end his plan derails into nothing and it ends up blessing Israel. מה טובו עליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. Bilam thinks he's bad, he's really good because he blessed Israel instead of putting them in a bad mood. He did not curse them, he did bless them. He blessed them with these words. מה טובו עליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. Yo, Bilam did not curse Israel, he ended up blessing them with the following words. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. He talked to a donkey, beat it up. He beat it up, but the donkey still loved him a lot and it taught him a lot. But he ended up being bad. He never turned a new leaf. He ended up being a villain forever and ever and ever and ever. מה טובו עליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. Everybody listen, gather around. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. Listen to those words. Research them. The translation in English, they are good. Good words Bilam spoke, but he meant to curse Israel. He ended up blessing them instead. The donkey helped a lot, but he still ended up being bad. מה טובו עליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל.
Shavua Tov to everybody who's tuning in. Rabbi Shapira here. I hope you had a blessed. Here we go. Sorry about that. Let's try it again. Shavua Tov to everybody. I hope you had a blessed, wonderful, powerful Shabbat, and the Lord has gave you some rest. And I hope you've been blessed by the teaching that we have given you today, this morning. We received so much good feedback from the Shiur Torah this morning. We're going to be airing it again tomorrow at 8 a.m. in the morning. You don't want to miss it. This is a very special night, and I love the Havdalah services that are before us, because it's giving me a chance to teach and give you teachings that are what I feel that are relevant, significant from the past, that people perhaps missed. And I'm going to be having another Shiur Torah from Parashat Tazria and Besorah about the Sandak. This related to a teaching that I have given from a book called The Good News According to COVID-19. I know everybody heard the word COVID-19 and they are like, that's hoax. No, it's not about the COVID-19. It's about what's happening in the world to prepare for the coming of the Mashiach, specifically from this Torah portion, and specifically what's happening right now. You don't want to miss the teaching today that is going to be coming immediately after Havdalah. We have a couple of other announcements. It's important to everybody to remember this week we have two important dates on the Hebrew calendar. We have Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut. Yom HaZikaron is the Israel Memorial Day. It's starting Monday, sundown. We're going to have a very special services for you here, Monday sundown, to honor all those who have fallen and injured, who fought in the wars that we've been having since 1948. And then Tuesday night, we're going to have Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel Independence Day. There's going to be powerful services as well. We're going to be here both nights. It's going to be at 8 o'clock Central Time. You don't want to miss those nights. It's going to be absolutely marvelous, marvelous. If you're blessed by what we're doing here at Avatam International, please consider financially support, contributing. Your contribution makes this going not just in English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, German, Korean, Chinese, Italian, many, many Farsi, Arabic, many languages are coming online, and we'll continue to outreach and continue this great commission. So please consider being part of the work here at Avatam International. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be with you. If God will allow me, I'm going to release the prophecy video. I haven't decided yet because I'm waiting upon the Lord, and may it allow me to do it. As you see, what we released this morning to you has been significant teaching that was really very powerful to the point of what's happening right now, especially in real time. So we're really glad you are here tonight. You don't want to miss the Shiur Torah. I'll be back with you just in a minute after Havdalah. But let's enter into Havdalah together right now, and I'll be right back immediately after Havdalah to introduce the Shiur Torah for this evening.
Shavua Tov, everyone. Please join me as we are singing together the Havdalah, page 87 of the Avat Olam Siddur. Hine El Yeshuati. Yeshuati Evtach velo hefach Ki ozi v'zimmat Adonai Vayehi li Yeshua צבאות אשרי אדם בוטח בך אדוני הושיע מלך יעננו ביום פועלנו ליהודים הייתה אוהב ושמחה וששון ויקר כן תהיה לנו כוס ישועות תסעו בשם אדוני יקבע ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן בורא פרי הגפן לי ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מיני בשמים בורא מיני בשמים ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מאורי האש בורא מאורי האש ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המבדיל בין קודש לחול המבדיל בין קודש לחול בין אור לחושך בין אור לחושך בין ישראל אל עמים בין יום השביעי לששת ימי המעשה ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול שבוע טוב 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 Eliyahu Mashiach ben David. Shavua Tov, everyone.
Shavua Tov to everybody. Shavua Tov to you, Mora Jackson. Great way to conclude this Shabbat. And great to see so many of you joining in Motzai Shabbat. We have been noticing an increase on the Shabbat services. I'm delighted to see it, that more people taking seriously the teaching, the heed in the books, the Fall of Edom, the new Hamas. Today I'm going to take you to the mother of all heeds, before the new Hamas, before the Fall of Edom, before the Rivka remnant. God is giving you a word about the Sandak in the last days. Matter of fact, this word has been given to me almost 7 years ago. Today, I want to remind you of this word, especially as we are entering into uncharted days. If you're blessed, know that every share, every like is exposing this broadcast to many, many more people. Continue to share it and like it. And every giving you give is holy. Your funds is holy. The tzedakah is holy. Thank you for considering partnering with Ahavat Ami International in the last days. We'll be with you tomorrow at 8 a.m. We'll be with you Monday night. Yom HaZikaron will be with you Tuesday night. Yom HaAtzmaut will be with you throughout this week. And if God will allow it, we'll release another prophecy video. And of course, every day we are going to be releasing updates from Israel. Tune in to the channel. A lot is happening. Your prayers count, matter. Let's enter into the Sandak. And of course, I urge you, if you have not read the Besorah according to COVID-19, Good News COVID-19.net. Good News COVID-19.net. I can't say enough about it. Let's go. I want to decode to you Parashat Besorah, Parashat Tazria. Those who have the book in their hand, we will see a lot of slides from the book. I am going to focus today at 3 pages in the book. I am going to be at page 409 all the way to 411. That's going to be our focus for today as we are learning about Besorah and Tazria. Now, when we start the Besorah and Tazria, we need to understand something. When we see a Torah portion name carry a meaning. And we have here 2 parashiyot that are an abstract. They don't make sense. You have parasha that is called Parashat Tazria. Tazria mean about a conception, a woman who is conceiving a child, yet the entire parasha have nothing to do with Tazria. It has to do with the Besorah. Then we have Parashat Besorah, and Parashat Besorah have nothing to do with the leper. It has to do with the purification of the leper. It should be called Parashat Tahara, and yet the first parasha should be called Besorah. And the question that you have to ask yourself, what is the connection between the 2 parashot? Why those 2 parashot go together, and why the rabbis chose to connect them as the same parasha, as one topic that goes together? We want to look at that, and there is a few questions you have to ask yourself here. First of all, we have to understand what is a Besorah. Who is a Besorah? What representing a Besorah in the context of this parasha? It says in Deuteronomy chapter 34, it says, "V'lo kam navi b'Yisrael ke Moshe." Moses, Torah is prophecy. Make yourself a note. Torah, when we study, when we look upon Torah, we are looking upon prophecy. Friends, today I'm going to uncover to you something very deep, something very important. I'm asking you to share this shiur today, because if you understand the shiur today, it is going to change your life without a shadow of a doubt. So I want you today to open your ears, open your heart, and receive this shiur today fully in understanding from the Spirit of God, okay? Now, when we talk about a Besorah in typicality, typical in Judaism, a Besorah is the word that represents Mashiach. It represents Mashiach. Besorah in general is the word for Mashiach. And you probably wonder, is this some sort of a mambo jumbo? Is a rabbinical interpretation? Where did the rabbi got the idea that Mashiach is going to be resemble a Besorah? You have to understand where it's coming from. It's coming from the Bible itself. And in a moment, we'll understand the connection between those two parashot. A woman giving a child, as she giving a child, she become unclean. And then we're reading about the leper. And then all of a sudden, the leper returning back to the camp and he's becoming clean. All of that have to be explained and understood in a messianic context that find in the words of Moshe Rabbeinu. And today we have to understand. We have to understand it because that's the secret of the last days. This is where the secret of the end times is being found. And look how the discussion starts in explaining, understanding what is a leper. I want to go with you to page 419 in the Besorah according to COVID-19. I want to go with you to Sanhedrin 98a. It says, what is the name of the Mashiach? What is his name? The school of Rabbi Shapira says his name will be called Shiloh, for it is written, until Shiloh come. The school of Rabbi Yanai say his name will be Enon, for it is written, his name shall endure forever. Sivrit's son was, that Psalm, his name is Enon, that's Psalm 72. The school of Rabbi Hananiah says, no, his name is Hananiah, okay, as it is written, where I will not give you Hanina, pardon. Others said his name is Menachem, the son of Hezekiah, for it is written Menachem Zin, the comforter, written because Menachem, the comfort that would relieve your soul, is far. But then it says the final conclusion, and notice what it says, the rabbi said, the rabbi's plural says his name is the leper scholar. As it is written, surely has borne our grief and carried our sorrows. Yes, we did esteem him a leper, smitten of God and afflicted. Friend, the rabbis have concluded that his name is the leper, and they are quoting a very important passage in the Talmud itself, Isaiah chapter 53. The very famous chapter is quoted, and the rabbis tell us that Isaiah 53 verse 4, to be precise, speak about the Messiah, and he is resemble a leper. Where did they get this idea? Let's read together Isaiah 53 4 and understand it. It says, אכן חלנו הוא נשא ובחובנו סבלם ואנחנו חשבנו נגוע מוכה אלוהים ומעונה. Yeah, it was our sickness that he was bearing, our suffering that he endured. We accounted him plagued, smitten, and afflicted by God. Friends, I wrote a complete volume on this. It's called The Return of the Kosher Pig. It's a book that you need in your hand, and hundreds of references to explain to you Isaiah 53 in the context here, speaking about the servant of the Lord who is becoming afflicted, and this affliction have a word. Affliction is the word nega, nagua. Now, where do we find this word nagua? The word nagua is the word that is found in the text here in Leviticus chapter 13. When we're talking about the appearance of the leper, he said he became nagua. In Aramaic, the word nagua, chivra, it literally means a leper. A leper. The idea that a Mashiach is becoming a leper and is resembling himself as a leper is the foundation of understanding the Messiah, through Messianic lens or in Jewish thought. Okay, so we have to understand one of the things about this portion. Number one, this is a Messianic portion. Make yourself note. Chapter 12, all the way to chapter 15, it's all messianic. It's talking about the coming of the leper. Acharit hayamim, as I've been teaching with you this morning, it is all referring to the return of the leper, the return of the Messiah. In a moment, we will look in this text about the coming of the Mashiach so that we understand the coming of the Mashiach even. But look what the Torah is itself say here in Leviticus chapter 13, verse 46 about this leper. We have to understand it in the context, and it says on the leper, it says, he shall be unclean as long as the disease is on him. Being unclean, he shall dwell apart. His dwelling shall be outside the camp. This language, inside the camp and outside the camp, is found in the book of Hebrews when Paul referring to Mashiach being outside the camp. This is a language, a messianic language. And notice this word here today, the word badad. That's where we get the Hebrew word boded. He is sitting alone inside the camp. The question, this entire Torah portion come to answer one question. How does the leper, how does a Messiah get inside the camp? What is need to happen, in essence, in order for him to return to inside the camp and not to be a leper anymore? Now you have to understand this in the context of the text. The notion that the Messiah is filthy as a leper is a concept that is hard to grasp, is difficult to grasp. But if you stick with me today, you will understand it perfectly. Perfectly. Let's start at the beginning of the text. I'm going to work backward. We're going first to see how the Geulah going to come to the world. Let's understand how the redemption going to come to the world. It says, Zoti yeh Torah Besorah. I'm reading from page 408 in the Besorah according to COVID-19. Zoti yeh Torah Besorah b'yom taharato ve'uva el hakohen. This shall be a ritual to the leper at the time he shall be cleansed when he has been reported to the priest. Friends, this is an important verse, and it is poorly translated by a Jewish publication. I want you to understand something. I pull it from a Jewish publication for a purpose, to show you something important and critical. First of all, it's talking about the Besorah, the Torah portion called Besorah, but it's talking about Beyom Taharato, in the day that is to be cleansed. Not the day that he is to be healed, but rather in the day that he is to be cleansed. You have to make a distinction, beloved. But then the day that he's been healed to the day that he has been cleansed, the two are not the same. The healing already took place. He has been healed long before he has returned back to the camp. It's a day of cleansing. And I need to explain to you the difference between the two. In Pesach, you wash your hand twice. One time you do the rachatz at the beginning, and you're just washing your hands. You're not saying a bracha. You're not saying netilat yadayim. You just go and wash out. That represents the externality. The externality. This is just an external. But then when you do the netilat yadayim, you asking God to clean you from the inside out. It's important for us to understand here in the context that when he's talking about the day of his cleanliness, he's not talking about the day of his healing, because the healing already has took place long before this. But there is another step for his wholeness. The day that is going to be brought, the day that is going to be brought before the high priest. We understand who is the high priest here and how he is arriving to the camp. Now, look with me in the text here. What is the word that you see on the screen right now? It is the Hebrew word huva. Remember Exodus chapter 12 when we passed Parashat Bo? Bo, look at the suffix of the word huva, bet and aleph. The word bo, the word ba, which means come. The one where to read the text in the day that he come to the priest. But remember what we read already a moment ago. His dwelling shall be outside the camp. Legally, he cannot return to the camp. He cannot return to the camp on his own. And this is important. That's why I wanted to put in your JPS Bible a big X on the word reported. There is not such word in the Bible, the word reported. The word that is used here in the text is the word hu, va. You know what ba mean or va? It's meant to come. But what if we take the Hebrew and we say the word hu, va? If I had the hey and I had the vav before the word va, what does that mean? It means when he was brought into the camp. Not when he brought himself, not when he was reported. The way the verse actually should be read today, when he was being brought to the priest. Not when he was reported to the priest, not when he came to the priest, when he was brought to the priest. And the entire question, the $1 million question that each and every one of us have to ask yourself today, how is he brought to the priest? We have the leper represent the Messiah. We have the priest. He's being brought inside the camp. That means that there is somebody else here who is part of this equation. And matter of fact, in Exodus Leviticus chapter 13, we read it in another way, almost the same word. And look what it says there. And Vedaber Adonai al Moshe vel Aaron le'emor. God spoke to Moses and to Aaron to say, when a person has a skin on his body swelling, a rash, a discoloration, it's talking about a leper, and it's developing into a skin in the skin of the body, it shall be reported to Aaron the priest, or one of the sons, the priest. No. And look at the Hebrew again. The word is not reported. The word in the yellow on your screen is the word hu, va. The hey and the vav before the verb mean that somebody else have to bring him to the camp. And the question you need to ask yourself, who is the somebody else who is going to take the leper, who is bringing him to the camp? Why is he a leper anyway? What caused him to be the leper? And the question should be in the back of our mind is, how is he returning to the camp? The word taharato in the context here is not mean the day when he was just returning to the camp. Is the day which he announced by the camp as to being cleansed and to be holy. Let's understand who are the players in this picture. First of all, let us identify who is the Kohen, who is the priest that the Torah is talking about. That is very easy. Look what it says in Exodus chapter 19, verse 6, and I'm going very fast today because I have a lot to cover with you. It says, but you shall be to me a mamlechet kohanim and a holy nation. These are the words that you shall speak to the children of Israel. Who is the Kohen? Beloved, the Kohen is none other than Israel. The camp has a name. The camp is called Israel. The Kohen is the Jewish people. Why do you think Yeshua said, you will not see me until he said, Baruch haba b'shem Adonai? Until Israel say, you are welcome in the camp. Until Israel will say, we are ready to receive. He cannot return. This is an important question to ask, why he hasn't returned. To answer this question, we need to understand something. He cannot return. It's an issue of legality, because when one becoming a leper, he cannot return on his own. Somebody have to bring him. But how can somebody bring him if Israel cannot leave the camp? Israel, the Kohanim cannot leave the camp. Judaism cannot leave. The Jewish people cannot leave the house of Israel to go get him. It's impossible. At the very best, they can go to the outskirts. But if the job of the Kohen to say, you are holy, you are kosher, and you are clean, if this is the job of the Kohen, it's the job of Israel to do that, and he is somewhere far away because of his leprosy, the question is, how does he come back? How does he return? Who, with the word who is it referring to? Who is it referring to, beloved? Who represent the key for the Geulah. It represents the key for the coming of Mashiach, so that Israel can announce him to be clean. And Ve'ovu, that's what then they brought him. Talk about the Gentiles. This is the job of the nation today. There is a middleman, there is a middle broker here who need to bring him to Israel, to bring him to Zion, because he cannot come on his own power. He cannot come on his own strength, and the Kohen cannot go and get him either. It is an important situation that you have to understand in the last days. There is a third party. The text here used the word ovu because they tell us that there is a third entity that is involving in bringing him to the day of his purity, for the day of revelation, to the day the Kohen says, hey, you're welcome to come back in. And understand something, he has been cleansed for a long time ago. Yeshua went to Sheol for 3 days and 3 nights, and he took upon himself all the leprosy of the world. All the junk of the world has been put upon himself. And when he resurrected, he was no longer a leper. Understand this. He told the one, he told her, don't touch me. I can't be touched. I'm right now, I'm clean. He is clean inside. But now we have to be clean in a ritualistic way, like you are washing your hand. This is a ritual purity. And the ritual purification of the Mashiach can happen only by Israel. Israel is the only one who can ritually purify the name of the Mashiach. But in order to ritually purify him, he has to be brought to the outskirts of the camp. But he cannot come. He cannot be brought to the outskirts of the camp because he is far away. He is sitting imprisoned at the gates of Rome. This is exactly where we need to go today, to the gates of Rome. We need to shake Christianity today. We need a revival in the Christian church to the point that the gates of Rome will be shaken. We need a revolution. We need a revival in the churches, that every gate that is locked today will be opened up, and he will be carried back to the house of Israel. Beloved, that is what is happening right now in the world. And let me tell you, there are those who want to keep him locked up. We're going to talk about this here in a minute. You need to understand this in a prophetic way. The requirements to those who carry him is 2 things. Number 1, they need to know where to find Yeshua himself. Beloved, how can one find Yeshua himself? He doesn't know about the Jewish roots of the faith. He has separated from Israel completely, but he still belongs back into the camp. If we are looking and we find a Christian Jesus, and then we are bringing him to the camp, what do you think the high priest is going to say? He's going to look and say, no, he is filthy. He is dirty. This is not one of us. And that's what's happening the last 2,000 years. Christianity tried to missionize and missionize and missionize, like those organizations who are putting those amazing videos together, and they look beautiful, and they want to make Jews Christians by mocking Judaism, by mocking the Torah, by mocking the Talmud, by mocking our tradition. Do you think that they are bringing the right Yeshua to the house of Israel? Think again. This is not the way, beloved. This is not the way to go about bringing him. We need to establish and understand the house of Israel. We need to understand what the house of Israel looks like, and who is the one that we're to bring him to in front of us. Israel need to deal with it. Israel need to look face to face to him. So the last 2,000 years, missionaries have brought the wrong groom to the fact that the bride here look at him and say, "Ooh, he smell bad, he look bad. I cannot accept him." Israel will never accept a wrong Yeshua. Nevertheless, they already view him as a leper, and we need to understand it. He is, when Yeshua resurrected, he's no longer a leper for you and I. But who he is a leper to? He is a leper to those inside the camp. And you need to make a distinction between being a leper to you and I. He says he became sin. He became a leper. He became a leper for the Gentiles. He became a leper in order for the Gentiles to come in. You see, he became a leper because he did break Jewish law. I want to explain to you that he did expand the Jewish law, at the very least expanded. He let Gentiles come on into the house of Israel. Do you want to know why he became a leper? Because he said to a Gentile, you can't keep Shabbat, you can't mitzvot, you can't keep Torah, you can't come to the Abrahamic, you can't come to the Mosaic, you can't come to the Davidic. Yeah, Jewish law tells us that a Gentile cannot do it unless he do a full conversion. But through Messiah Yeshua, everybody can do it right now. That means that he has become a leper because what he has done for the Gentiles, that who became a leper to his own Jewish brothers and sisters, to the point they say, get out of here. He is a leper for them, for what he has done for the Gentiles. We need to understand it, of course. What do you think Ephesians chapter 2 verse 12 is about? You are no longer foreigners, but you're becoming a fellow citizens. You were without hope, without a God in the world, but now through the covenants. A Gentile cannot keep covenants. It's illegal by Jewish law. But when second he opened the door to the Gentiles, he became a leper. The problem is the fact that the Gentiles loved so much what he has done that they decide, oh, we love you so much, we're not going to carry you back home. We're going to keep you here with us. This is the sin. This is the crime. This is the transgression of what the Gentiles have done. And I want you to understand this today, that only the Gentiles can return. And think with me for a moment, will you? Friends, I'm telling you something. You need to read this book. You need today to share this broadcast because your life is going to change if you understand what I'm explaining you today. Think with me for a moment. Joseph, the precious Joseph, when he removed the mask, what did he say? Is my father still alive? Wait a second. Joseph, if your father mattered to you so much, his name is Yaakov, which is Israel, is a picture of Israel, why never you went to look for him? Where have you been all those years, Joseph? Why you never went to look for your dad? What, you had the resources, he knew where Canaan is. Why he never went back? And even worse, Yaakov, whose name is Israel, we read in the Torah. The Torah tells us that he knew where Joseph is. He knew that Joseph is not dead. He knew that Joseph is alive. What? Why didn't you went back to get your son Joseph? You loved him so much. Wait a second. Joseph knew where Israel is. Mashiach knew where Israel is, and he never went back. And Yaakov knew where Joseph is, and he never went. Yaakov knew where Joseph is, and he never went back. You have two parties who are madly in love with one another, and neither one of them going back for each other. Something is really wrong in this story. Something is really messed up in this story. Beloved, it is like the story of the leper. The leper legally cannot go back to the camp, and those inside the camp cannot go back. They cannot go back to the leper. It's an issue of legality. Let me ask you a question in the story of Joseph and his brother. Who carried Joseph back to Yaakov, whose name is Israel? Wasn't it the brothers? Wasn't it the nations? The brothers, according to the Midrash, represent the Goyim, represent the Gentiles. Only when the brothers identified the leper and identify the leprous clothes of Egypt, the leprous clothes of Rome, the leprous clothes of Edom, the leprous clothes of Christianity, and they restore honor to their own brother and carry him back to Israel. Only then he can reconcile with his own brother, with his own father. Excuse me, beloved, this is something he cannot do. And the Midrash asked the question, well, he loved his dad so much, why never went back? They say it was a question of shame. He was ashamed that he lost the tunic of many colors and he could not show himself in the wrong garments. In essence, Joseph became entrapped. Joseph became entrapped in another kingdom of Egypt that he himself could not break out of, just as the leper is become entrapped at the gates of Rome, and somebody there not let him know. Was Joseph loved? Excuse me, was Joseph loved in Egypt? He was loved. He was revered. He was adored. They loved him in Egypt. Is Jesus loved in Christianity today? Of course he is. Look how many hymns they sing to Jesus. Look how many hymns and prayer book and praise book there is to him. But in this, he still stay locked up until somebody releases him from the bondage that was put upon him. And the bondage was put upon Yeshua, friends, it is for the Gentiles. Just as Joseph said, the things that was put upon me, it was for your benefit, people of God. Hear at what I am telling you today. Look at the text with me. This is from page 408 in the book, the beginning of the Torah portion today. I know I'm going fast. I want you to digest it. I want you to think about it. I want you to run and all the Besorah according to COVID-19. You need to understand this. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a woman delivered a bear a male child, then shall be unclean for 7 days, and then impurity and sickness shall be unclean. The question that you have to ask yourself in this context, who is this child? Who is this child that is born that caused the woman to be unclean for 7 days? And then on the 8th day, the very next verse, what is happening? There is a Brit Milah of this child. In a minute, we're going to talk about the Brit Milah of the child, because that's when the woman starts to counting 30 days toward her purity. Now, notice something about this child. He called here in the text, the word that is used in the text is the word Zachar. The word that is used here to represent this child is the word Zachar. But when we read here, in Exodus chapter 13 about this leper that is coming to Aaron, okay, his name is Adam. Adam. Remember what I told you a little bit ago? That it says this will be the Torah of the leper who will be brought to the Kohen. You need to understand something, that the leper who is become purified to Israel, which is the Mashiach in chapter 14, it is the child who is born in chapter 12. It is this child that is born. In essence, the leper in chapter 14 is the same one as the child that is born here in chapter 12. Now, notice something. When he is born, the very first 7 days of his life, he is called Zachar. But later on, he is calling Adam. Notice he still need to be purified, right? Wait a second, that doesn't make sense. The word Adam, Aleph, Dalet, Mem, Adam, David, Mashiach, he's talking about one who has already been cleansed, one who has already been purified. If he's been cleansed, he has been purified. If he's called man, Adam, it means he's in fullness. How can it be that somebody who is called Adam, somebody who is in fullness, still need to be purified? Because his purification is not inwardly. His purification is outwardly. It's outwardly by the high priest. The high priest need to do something outwardly. He need to redeem him. He need to say, you have been cleansed. It's formality. It's merely formality. Yeshua is not a leper. Yeshua is not a pig. He is the holiest and purest things. Why do you think that the word Mashiach in Gematria equivalent to the number 358, which is the same word to the word Nachash, serpent? Because as soon as the skin of the serpent, the externality is moved, inside there is something holy. Yeshua is holy. He's been purified. He's sitting by the right of the Father. But there is another part here to this story that you see. And this story says that you have to be purified by the community. Why do you think that the text is telling us here? Look at this. That is called Zachar in 7 days. Because when a child is born, for 7 days he has no name. He's born, he's holy, he's pure. Don't tell me a baby is not holy and pure. He is holy and is pure, the child is. But for 7 days, he has no name. He absolutely have no name in the house of Israel. Only on the 8th day, they take the child and they announce the name of the child on the 8th day in what's called Brit Milah, a circumcision. You notice the leper has been clean for 7 days. He has been cleansed for 2,000 years ago. But unless he go through a Brit Milah, until the Messiah himself go through a Brit Milah by the Jewish people, not by God. God already says he's clean. But by the Jewish people, only then the Geulah will come to the world. And don't tell me, oh, you are elevating the Jews. Nonsense. Look at the Torah. Who is the first Mashiach in the text? Is Aaron. How did Aaron become the Mashiach? The people purified Aaron. Not God. The people anointed him. They made him the big day Kodesh. They are the one who anointed him. They are the one who set it apart. This is the job of the people of Israel. So there is a prophetic time. There are 2 births in the life of every Jewish kid. He is physically born. And then on the 8th day is born the second time. They give a tiny little, they put a little wine on the baby tongue. And what do they say before the Brit Milah? They say, Shmo Yiyeh Be'Israel. His name in Israel will be so and so on. And may this child will be the Messiah of Israel. And all the community is saying, Amen. It is a picture of the welcoming of the child who is resembling a leper to the community of Israel. And look what's happened to the mother this day, on the 8th day. The mother start her process of cleansing. Beloved, look at what it says by Rabbi Schneerson to us. I didn't write it, Rabbi Schneerson write it. It's on the word the liver and the male child. It is well known that the word birth hint of a redemption, as it is stated, for the soon Zion was in labor. Let me stop there. Who is this woman? Who is the woman who is unclean for 7 days? The woman who is unclean for 7 days is none other than Israel. It's none other than Israel. Israel is unclean until the leper returning and standing before the house of Israel, and Israel welcome him to the community. Only then Israel will be cleansed and the healing will start to the Jewish people. We need to understand this. This is Judaism. This is Judaism, beloved. Judaism is teaching us this, that the woman who is in labor here give a birth. What do you think the first birth represent? The first birth represent the first coming of the Messiah. What do you think the 8th day represent? The actual naming ceremony. When he's born in the community it represent the second coming of the Messiah. And we have to get to the second birth. We have to get to the 8 days, to the day of the purification. You see the connection now between chapter 12 and chapter 14? We're talking about the same person. Chapter 12 give us the big picture. Israel going to be unclean for a period, and only when he's welcoming into the community, only then the purification will start. And then in chapter 14, it's telling us how it's going to happen. It's going to happen when the Gentiles are going to be bringing him to the camp of the house of Israel Do you get that, beloved? Look at Schneerson's conclusion here on this thing. He says, the birth of the male child refers to strong validity of the final and complete eternal retention. No more exiles. By whom? Messiah, our righteousness. Boom. Checkmate. I didn't say it. Rabbi Schneerson said it. This represents the child who is the Mashiach, who is going to cause Israel to be unclean to a period. Why? Because he's not yet. He's outside the camp for these 7 days prophetically. The birthing process is the process of the revelation of the soul of the Mashiach, which is on the higher place. Of course it is. He's divine. The word delivered refers to the work and the preparation of the house of Israel by sowing through our work prophetically today. Friends, we need to prepare for the naming ceremony of Yeshua the Messiah. We need to bring him to the camp. We need to prepare him to the camp. And that is where we have a problem, because in Jewish ceremony, in order to bring him to the Brit Milah, you cannot just take the baby from the mother and bring him. No, there is a middleman. There's a middleman here. Remember that there's a middleman who's supposed to bring Messiah from the Galut, from the gates of Rome, all the way. You have to bring him. Who is the middleman here? In Jewish ceremony on the 8 days, the community is sitting. The father is there to do the Brit Milah, and you have what's called the Sandak. The Sandak is the godfather. Read the chapter on the Sandak in the Besorah according to Covid-19. I beg you, because the Sandak has a real problem. He also loved the baby. He loved the baby so much. You want to know what happened in the last 2,000 years? The Sandak loved the baby so much that he refused to give the baby to the father. He refused to return the baby to the community of the house of Israel. In essence, what the Sandak, who's supposed to hand the baby to the father, who's supposed to hand the baby to Israel, who's supposed to bring it to the camp of Israel, he ended up kidnapping the baby. He ended up kidnapping the Messiah himself. And because of that, the Geulah is being delayed today. The Geulah is being delayed today. It's because the church have not taken Yeshua and brought the real Yeshua to the house of Israel. Number one, they have the wrong baby. The church has been trying to shove the baby, the wrong Messiah, in our face. That's problem number one. But number two, the problem with the Hebrew roots movement, for example, what is the Hebrew movement exactly doing to support the salvation of Israel? Nothing. It's all about me. It's all about my knowledge. This week we had Yom HaZikaron. In Yom HaZikaron, a day Israel mourn, we have like 50 people show up. Why? Oh, because I'm not gaining knowledge. It's not about me. It's about Israel. Friends, if you make it about yourself, about your knowledge, about your intellect, you will never be the Sandak. You will never be the Sandak. If it's becoming about you, you cannot be the Sandak. Today you have a calling, you have a responsibility. Is to find him and to bring him to Israel. It's not about you. You're just a broker. You're just a broker here in this deal. You need to understand this. The problem, the thing that delayed the Geulah today is this middleman who's supposed to hand the baby to Israel. Only then Israel can say, okay, we are ready for the Brit Milah. We are ready to welcome him to the camp. Now, is the baby clean? Of course the baby is clean. But this 8 day cannot happen unless the Gentiles hand him over. The point is so bad that the Gentile kidnapped him and took him somewhere else. Why do you think we see what we see in the scripture? Please let me highlight you this scripture quickly. I have a lot to cover with you and I need to do it fast. Stage number one. The birthing of the coming of the Messiah, representing the first coming, representing what? Representing Israel, the woman becoming unclean for a period of 7 days. We are preparing for the circumcision ceremony, the birthing, the second birthing, when he received his name, has received his name of the Messiah, who has entered into the house of Israel. And that can only happen the second coming, where the child himself is being grafted in. Beloved, it can happen only on the 8th day. It can happen only on the 8th day, when the Gentiles are going to give him away. But they kidnap him. You see, that's what happened to Moshe Rabbeinu. Look at me, what it says about Moshe. Vayigdal hayeled, the child. Notice the word. A child is born unto us, a son has been given unto us, and his name will be Pele, Yoetz, El, Gibor, Aviat. We called him Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. He called a child and he called his son. Well, guess what? Moshe Rabbeinu is called the child. Here, look at this world. When the child grew up, he was brought to Pharaoh's daughter, who made him what? A son. A child and a son, and she called him Moshe. You see, the moment she took Moshe from a child to becoming a son, when she took him, this is the story of the return of the kosher pig, beloved. She have given him her own Brit Milah. Without the community of Israel, she made him a child and she made him a son without the house of Israel. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5, read. It says, a child like Moses has been born unto us. A son has been given to us, and his authority is settled on his shoulder. His name will be Pele Yoetz, El Gibor, Aviad, Sar Shalom. Do you notice how many names that the Messiah have? The Messiah have 8 names. What day is he being circumcised in? He is being circumcised on the 8th day, because he has 8 names, and that's the day of the salvation, when Israel is saying, he is clean, he is clean, he is clean. Our responsibility today is not to make him something that he's not, but shaking the gates of Rome. Be a Sandak that's shaking. We need to get him back. We are fighting right now for the identity of the Messiah. Make no mistake. Why I am in ministry. I am in ministry for one reason. Because something terrible, something tragic has been done for the name of Yeshua. Because he was kidnapped, his name was kidnapped. And we are to restore his name. And here the text tells to us, for a child has been born unto us, a son has been given to us, and his name. Notice it doesn't say names, it says name in singular name, because the child is going to become a son. In the first 7 days, he is a child. He's just a child. He's called in Hebrew. The word that is used in the text is the word Zachar. He's just a child. He's a nobody. He is still today a child. Yeshua is a child. He's not the Son of God. He's a child. He's not the Son of God. Don't say he's the Son of God. He is not the Son of God for Israel. I'm not talking about you and I. I am talking for Israel. For Israel is a child, which means, hey, little boy, who are you? Who are you to stand? As I talk to rabbis, who is Yeshua? When we have Rashbi, when we have Akiva, and we have the Rambam, who is Yeshua? This is the attitude. Why? Because he's a Zachar, he's in the 7 days. His recognition nationally have yet to reach to our people. And the reason is because he cannot come back. Just as the leper cannot come back, he cannot come back. But remember what I told you a moment ago. His name is not just Yeled. His name is called also Zachar. But the Yeled, as we see in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5, will become a son. A Yeled will become a son. And the Zachar will become Adam. For you and I, Yeshua today is Ben. For you and I, Yeshua today is Adam. He's everything. He's the Son of God, and he's also called Adam. And now think of a moment about this word Adam, highly exalted, Mashiach. What do you hear inside the word Adam? Inside the word Adam, talking about his exalted level as Messiah, we hear the word Edom. Do you hear the word Edom? It's the same root. It's found in the word Adam, Edom. Edom is the name. Edom is the name of Esau. Esau, if you flip the letter, is the name of Christianity. Do you want to know how we take this Zachar and we make him Adam again? The way we do it is we share the klipa of Christianity. I am not speaking against Christianity. I am speaking about the shell of Christianity today, that he's holding today the Messiah captive. Because it says that there is a great conclusion to this thing. What is going to happen in the 8th day? On the 8th day, the flesh of the foreskin shall be circumcised. That day, that this Sandak is handing his name to Yeshua. And Mashiach ben Yosef, who has no name, become Mashiach ben David, because he is welcome in the community, friend. He is welcome in the community. The child is becoming the son. And then to say the woman starting the 30 days period of healing. Israel will start his healing, beloved. He starts his healing. I want you to understand what I'm telling you today. Only when Yeshua's name will be restored in Israel. And anybody who is bringing him with the klipa of Christianity cause their harm of refuse. Israel will not receive it. They will not say kasher. They will not say that. He is really Adam, but we made him a Zachar. Adam is pure, but Israel still need to purify him. Sorry, Yeshua himself said that. You know what Baruch haba b'shem Adonai mean? It actually mean that Israel recognize him as clean. If I say in Hebrew Baruch haba, it's not hello, it's not welcome, it's I recognize who you are. When you say in Hebrew Baruch haba, you're saying I recognize who you are. The problem today, the key for all of Geulah is with the Sandak. Those who are going to bring him. Those who need to bring him. You need to bring him. Yes. Why do you think we have Yeshiva Tshuvu? So many of you are not in the yeshiva. Ask why. Why everything is so laissez-faire? Why everything have to be in a spoon? Why can't you take 4 or 5 years of your life? Really, find Yeshua. Take this investment. Find the real Jewish Mashiach. Then bring him to Israel. Yes, you need to do this. It's not easy. When Paul speaks in Hebrews 13 said to the Gentiles, now let us go outside the camp. This is not easy because Yeshua giving you away inside the camp. He's giving you the key to the camp. But now you have to leave the camp. The reason you are inside the camp is because he is outside, because he took upon himself your leprosy to the goyim. That's a shocker. How much more we need to go now and find the real Messiah? God help us. God help us, beloved. Look at what it says in the book of Ecclesiastes. To explain to you the sad reality, Ecclesiastes 4:14 says, for the former can emerge from a dungeon to become king, while the latter, even if born to kingship, can become a pupil. He became a dungeon. The word here in dungeon is the word prison. Who is it talking about? Born in prison. Friends, Yeshua himself is the ultimate prisoner who cannot return today until the Sandak will finally hand him over to the Jewish people. Beloved, God is calling you today as Gentiles according to the flesh to be part of the baby naming ceremony, the Brit Milah of Yeshua HaMashiach. And here it says, in all this amazing, he's in a kingdom, and in the kingdom is a prison. What is that supposed to mean? It means that he's in the kingdom, but he's in the kingdom of whom? He's in the kingdom of Edom. Of course he is. He's a child. He's a son. He's a son for Edom. Just was like he was a son. Moshe Rabbeinu was a son for Egypt. He was a son for Egypt. He was revealed. There is no question in my mind today that Christians adore Jesus. They adore him to the point that they refuse to let him go and to be who he needs to be. Let him go. Carry him on your back so that he will be who God has called him to be. The Messiah of Israel. The Messiah of Israel. Beloved, look at what it says. Look at what Shlomo HaMelech is telling us here in the very next verse. However, I reflect about all the living who walk under the sun with the youthful successor. The word here in Sid, the successor in Hebrew, the second child who will come upon his place. Who is? Who will hold on his place? Who is he talking about, the second child? Beloved, the second child is the second appearance of Mashiach. Ben David. Ben David, the second appearance. Friends, God is calling you today by name to prepare him, to groom him, to put upon him the garment of the camp. Because the camp need him. Israel need Yeshua today. Israel does not need Pfizer. Israel does not need Moderna. Israel does not need F-16. Israel need Yeshua. Israel need Yeshua more than anything else. But we're holding him back. And today God is telling you, start the journey, find him, and carry him. How can you carry him to Israel if you don't understand Judaism? Where are you going to take him to? You have to understand Judaism. That's why we teach you Judaism. Yes, I do, and I'm not afraid of that. So you know where to take him. What on earth? And as you are approaching the camp, you do have a good news to give Zion. Now everything become clear. Look at what it says in Yeshayahu. Manavu al harim raglei mevaser. How beautiful on the mountain are the feet of the one who bring good news, who announce shalom, who bring good news of happiness, who bring Yeshua, who bring Zion and say, your God reigns. What is the good news to bring to Zion? When you come and bring Yeshua, when you bring Yeshua, the real Yeshua, you bring the good news. You say, hey, he's not a leper. Friends, Israel, check it out. He's without blemish. He's without wrong. He has done nothing wrong. Check him yourself. Well, what do you think Israel is going to say? They're going to look at you and say, who are you? And if they see in you the image and the identity of Yeshua, they will be inclined to look upon him. They will not even look upon him if you do not represent the one that you are carrying. That's why today you do need to take upon yourself Jewish identity. Yes, you do need a Jewish identity, because this is identity. This identity is going to be the way that Israel is going to be evaluating the Messiah by. Remember what the text is saying about him. It says that when Isaac approached him, it says when Jacob, and Jacob went in near to Isaac, his father, he felt him, and he said, the voice of Jacob, and the hands of Esau. You see, this word felt him is such an important word. This word felt him. Inside the word felt him, notice what you find. You find three letters. You find the name Moshe. The word felt him is the word Moshe. When you are approaching the camp, beloved, listen to me. When you are approaching the camp, Israel, the Kohanim, going to feel you. They're going to say, who are you? They bring us good news about the leper. They're going to feel you. What does the word feel mean? Emsheheu, Moshe. If you feel like Moshe, If you live your life according to Torah, if you live your life according to mitzvot, if you are Sandak who are handing the baby and look like the Jew, who act like the Jew, you are part of the house of Israel, they will listen to you and they will say, okay. Now let me see the leper. At this point, it's become a mere formality. Israel will look at him and they will receive him. You see, it is your action today. It is your calling today to become the Sandak. Do you want him to remain son of Roma? Go right ahead. But in order for him to become the son of Israel, you need to carry him. You need to deliver his name. Because I cannot do what you do. You need to say, everybody say, Rabbi Shapira, you're so amazing. I want to explain to you. I cannot do what you do because I am Jewish. And even as a Messianic Jew, I'm still Jewish. Partially, I am inside the camp. But my role also as a Messianic Jew is to walk outside the camp with you and to guide you, to show you Mashiach. That's the job of the Jewish people. But you know who's the one who's carrying him? It's the Gentiles. It's the brothers of Yosef. You, the brethren, who are going to be carrying him, so that Israel, we can look upon him and say, Kasher. That is the Sandak. Today we're in the 7th day. We need to get to the 8 days. And in order to do this, beloved, listen to me. You hold the key. Each house of you, somebody write in the chat, honor. No, it's not an honor. It's a burden. It's a weight. It's a responsibility. And I pray for each one of you today that you feel the weight of carrying the cleansed leper. As you carry him, you love him, and you hold tightly to him. But there will be one day that you have to let go, have to let him return. You know what's happening in the end of the story? When he returned back and he became a king, because you fulfilled the word of Isaiah 52, the bearer of the good news, he's going to turn back around. He's going to take his hand. And he's going to say to every nation, every tribe, every tongue, this is what Yeshua is going to do. As he crowned in the crown of Israel by the natural blades, by the Kohanim. Here's what he's going to do. He's going to turn to all of you. And he's going to do this. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. And that is going to be the day that each and every carrier of Messiah become a natural citizen of the house of Israel. This is what your future as Gentiles, according to the flesh, should look like. And all those foolish, stupid, ignorant Hebrew roots teachers who speak about equality and equality on equality. There is no equality in the house of Israel. Each person have a role. Why do you think you're here on Shabbat morning, listening to this midrash, going to a shacharit? Why do you think? For any other reason than going outside the camp and bringing the Messiah, who is the leper, outwardly to Israel? Do you think any other reason? Shame on those who return to the house of Israel with a conversion without nothing. Your conversion means nothing. Shame are those who take the baby and kidnap him and keep him in the churches. Shame on you. Yeshua, he's Jewish and he's belong back in the camp. Now let us rise up to Jew and Gentile alike. Let us go outside the camp and let us bury and carry the shame of Messiah, who become leper, to bring every human being on the face of mankind into the house of Israel. This is your call. You are called for this in these days. I pray that as you read this chapter in my book about the Sandak, now you understand why I am so passionate about this book. This is not theology. This is not from my head. This is from the heart of God. I pray today that the rest of your life, the rest of your days, you will go with the passion to have the image of Messiah. All alone, separated from Israel, waiting for his Brit Milah, waiting to return to Zion. This day will come when the fullness of the Gentiles will carrying him and ushering him to the house of Israel. Don't be afraid to take upon yourself, listen to me, a Jewish identity. Don't be to practice Torah. But I will warn you, do it for the right reason. Don't go to the Hebrew roots and all this nonsense that it's all about you, it's become about, no, it's not. If you study, practice Torah, it's for one reason, to find where the house of Israel is and to bring the Mashiach there. There's no other purpose for a Gentile. Study Torah, practice Torah, taking a Jewish identity than this. Because it's about him. The leper, Nagua, where his letter flip, he will become Nagua, he will become an oneg. He will become a delight for all of us together. God is calling you to a journey today. And I pray that you have the stamina as Gentiles to return. In Hebrew, it's the word shuvu. Return to what? Return to Israel? No. Return first to the Messiah. And then to Israel. You know, when you use Waze, you can put a middle point stop. You put the coordinate. Stop number 1, Mashiach. Stop number 2, the house of Israel. Make sure that those coordinates are programmed upon your heart. Upon your heart. I bless the Lord for this journey that you're taking. And we declare that through your journey, Yeshua soon will be cleansed as the son of Israel. Renounce making him the son of Egypt. Renounce adoring him outside of context or his Jewish context. Renounce it today. Renounce those things, beloved. It's giving you a chance to carry him today. Do it. Hashem will strengthen you. He will be with you. He will walk with you without a doubt. I bless the Lord for this time with you, this intimate shiur today. And if I offended everybody, I say in advance, I am apologizing. Everything I spoke to you today is come to me from Hashem. So if you are upset, test the words according to the scripture and go from there. We love you and we are here for you. We are not here to condemn you in any way, shape, or form, because your journey successfully means that Israel is becoming saved. And you do have a good news. When you find the real Messiah, what does it say? Mashmiah Yeshua. It's an amazing news for Zion. The leper is ready to enter in the house of Israel.
Yeah, man, my name is Jimmy. I come from Jamaica, bro. Gonna sing Mato Vu. Oh, 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 Mato Vu. Oh, Alecha, Yaakov. בשכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב. משכנותיך ישראל. This comes from the portion of Balak. Bilam thinks he's gonna curse Israel, but really in the end, his plan derails into nothing and it ends up blessing Israel. Matavu alecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael. Bilam thinks he's bad, he's really good because he blessed Israel. Instead of putting them in a bad mood, he did not curse them, he did bless them. He blessed them with these words. Matavu alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matavu alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Yo, Bilam did not curse Israel, he ended up blessing them with the following words. Matavu ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. He talked to a donkey, beat it up. He beat it up, but the donkey still loved him a lot and told him a lot, but he ended up being bad. He never turned a new leaf. He ended up being a villain forever and ever and ever. Matavu alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matavu alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Everybody listen, gather around. Matavu alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Israel. Listen to those words. Research them. The translation in English. They are good. Good words Bilam spoke, but he meant to curse Israel. He ended up blessing them instead. The donkey helped a lot, but he still ended up being bad. Matavu alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matavu ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matavu ohalecha Matavu ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Besorah.